So in the calibration, it's a simple six-step process. I'm going to do it real quick and just walk you through it so you can see what the process is. I'm going to select slurry number 2, and I can rename those. I'll show you how to rename them. So if I'm on slurry number 2, I can change each one of these characters. Let's make this slurry number 1. There we go. And so now it's slurry number 1. So we can rename this. We can call it Bob Seal. Whatever fits into these characters, you can name them so it makes something make sense to you. So we're going to use that. We're just going to select that. And I'm going to select that one. I'm going to go through it. And it's a simple 6-step process. So on the spray bar, I would disconnect all of my linkage except for one. So I'm spraying through one tip. I want it to be a brand new tip. I set my calibrated bucket under it, and I get ready to go. So it's going to be my process. I can increase or decrease the amount of time it's going to run. 15 seconds is the default. I can do less, but that's a pretty good average. That's a pretty good number to run with. Don't change it unless you have a specific need for your material, but overall this is pretty good. So I would select this, and then it reminds me, it says using only one new nozzle. I want to make sure we're using a new nozzle. Place the graduated bucket under the single nozzle and press enter to start. So I've got my bucket underneath there. I don't have anything running, so we're just going to simulate this. And I push this, and what it does is it automatically opens the spray bar. It automatically turns the pump on, opens the spray bar, and opens the knife valve so that all of those functions run. It runs for 15 seconds, and then it will automatically close everything. And then I would measure how much material I got out through that specific calibration, and I would increase or decrease the amount till I got to where the material that I got out. On a calibrated bucket, we can go that route. If you use a scale, you can pre-weigh your bucket, discount that amount, and you spray your material, and you'll know how much material you have. Water is very consistently 8.33 pounds per gallon, so it's easy to come up with a very accurate number. So you set that number where it's supposed to be, and when you select OK, you'll now record it, and it'll go to step 2 of 6. And so we repeat this for all 6 steps. Record those numbers, and we're done. I'm just going to run through it quickly. I'm going to go down to 5 seconds so I can speed up the process. So we're at 50. Let's just go 75. This is step 3. So I'm just putting dummy numbers at this point just to be able to move it along. So as long as it's increasing in some sort of logical fashion, again, these are just, we'll do this. But when it does that, it says your calibration is successful, and now that calibration to that material has been stored in the system. So when we go to operate, every time we go to operate, we must go to the pump command, select which material we're going to use. So I can use whichever one, and I can set. So I'm going to select the one we just calibrated to. I'm going to select that, and now I'm going to do an 8-foot wide pass, and I'm going to do that with 5 tips, and I'm going to do it in a single layer. The layers is if we were going to put down a 0.30, but I wanted to do it in 2 layers, I would select 2 layers, and then it's actually going to spray a 0.15 twice, right? So 0.15. So I know I'm putting down the 0.30, but it just adjusts it that way. If that's a little too complex, we just go to 1 layer, and you put down a 0.15, it's going to put down a 0.15. So you can control that so you know where you're at. So I need to tell the machine. It reminds me to line up my spray tips. We'll go through that. That's a very critical step in successful spray application. And now I'm ready to go. And I can increase my pump level to where I want it to be, my ground speed where I want it to be, and then I just spray. And if this number is heavy or light, I'll increase or decrease the pump, or I'll increase or decrease the speed. Both of them will affect that number. So if I need a heavier material, I'll either increase the pump or slow down the speed. If I want lighter, I'll speed it up or slow down the pump. So we've got those adjustments to make, put the power in the hands of the operator to make the best decision for how you want to apply the material.